Well, it's wild. All right, so I want to get back to the Mike's mantra, and I want to see how many people agree with this, because this is based on what we went through yesterday with the young kid who had been so sour on the Phillies all year and just got nauseating. And then all of a sudden they win the NL East, and he was, I love this team. And I go, hey, these young kids, I always thought young kids were very protective of their teams. Like protective of their athletes. Older school people, they get a little more cynical. But young kids, how dare you insult our athletes? And so I thought they were more fanboys than anything. Well, that kid wasn't, certainly. He was a miserable at age 19. So I'm wondering, what is it that I'm confused? Where does the negativity come from younger people? But my mantra has always been this. I try to be as fair as possible. If a team deserves criticism, I will rip the living daylights out of them, as you know, Bill. Well, if you don't do right by your fan base, I am unhappy. I think your responsibility as a team in a major city like Philadelphia is to put your best efforts forward to build a team that is a championship contender, which is why I've stayed off the Phillies, which is why I've said stop worrying about this. This is a good team. Appreciate this team. It's going to be a 1 or 2 seed. I've been consistent in saying that. Am I right?
You have, and this is what I want to call you out on. Because a caller called in earlier, and they said, if last night was a scheduled loss, why do you still play all of your top hitters? And your response, quote, because I wrote it down, because you still need to win the game.
That's what I'm saying. You can't assume that anything is a scheduled loss coming down the stretch.
Hold on. You said you still need to win the game because the seeding matters. But yet you have gotten on my case when I said Dombrowski should have done something so every fifth day is not a scheduled loss.
You're muddying the waters here because you're not understanding what I'm saying. That guy said the lineup should have been changed. And you don't, since it's a scheduled loss, you put in other guys. No, you don't. You put in your best hitters. You can't do anything about your pitching problem. At this point, you just got to try to survive that game with the pitching staff that you have to pitch in that particular game. That doesn't mean that you look at it like a scheduled loss. It just didn't work out. You had no other choice but to use these guys. In the overall scope of things, it's not a big deal. But it's not a deal where you should bench your hitters.
I'm with you. They shouldn't bench their hitters.
Well, that's all I said.
Because you can't have but you're saying it's because you still need to win the game. And what I'm saying is that they didn't do anything.
You can't win the game with what you're putting out there. You don't know that.
We do.
No, you don't.
They've lost like 80% of their fifth starter
How do you know
games.
how it's going to turn out? You don't know how it's going to turn out. You're playing the damn Cubs. They've given up on the season.
Maybe
you think you can get by. You're crossing your fingers that you can get by. But that doesn't mean you put Weston Wilson in there and rest guys.
No, I'm with you on that. I don't think they should have rested guys. And you needed to play Austin Hayes out and left because they brought him back from the IL.
He needs at bats.
So I'm with you on that.
And Harper needs at bat, trying to get the 30 home runs. And Nick Castellanos wants to play every game. And Schwarber wants to get back in a groove. And Turner, you got to play all those guys. They're going to get a week off with the bye.
I'm with you on playing all the batters. But when you said it's because it's important, you got to win these games.
What else would you have done last night? You always take both sides of an argument.
No, I'm not taking both sides.
And you make it one. What could they have done last night except the Bill plan, which was Dave Dombrowski at the trading deadline should have done something to avoid what happened last night. No team avoids it. It's a fifth starter. They all go through the same survival period by trying to put a guy out there, a bullpen game. This guy, that guy, bring it up in mind. They just try to survive a fifth starter.
I said to you, I don't want to have the fifth starter argument anymore because we don't have to ever see them again. But since we're on the point, I don't feel that there is any other team that was in a postseason race like the Phillies were that had as bad as a fifth option as the Phillies had.
Okay, see, you're a lawyer. You should know not to ask a question that you don't know the answer to. You should do your research first before you bring that point in. And what you should give me then is a list of these teams that have a better fifth starter.
But what was the number? I think the Phillies have lost 80% of their fifth starter games.
So
that's absurd.
So do me a comparison then and find out the other teams that also struggle with a fifth starter and tell me what their records are.
Well, I'd have to do that.
Okay, well, then you should have done that before you brought up the argument.
But other teams are not the best team in baseball, as you have said over and over and over.
Best team. I don't know that they're the best team in baseball. I don't even know that they're the best team in the National League. What I'm saying to you is, this this constant doom feeling with the Phillies. Oh, they're not going to do this. It's ridiculous. They have given you an appreciable team here. They're going to be a 1 or 2 seed.
But you can't say in one sentence, they need to win the game. They can't just take everybody out.
Right, I can't take it anymore.
And then not have an option.
Right, go ahead. The floor's yours.
Okay.
I can't.
Sounds good.
I give up.
I don't want to have this argument today.
I give up. I don't know. Last night, Bill wants to pin this on the fact that Dave Dombrowski did not get a better player at the trade deadline. This is where we're going back to the same old argument. When I'm saying every team struggles with this fifth starter dilemma. And so they were just trying to survive last night, hoping that their hitters would be able to bring them through. It didn't work out. It wasn't the end of the world.
And the good news is it's probably not going to matter. So I am ready to move on from it. But I still disagree with that decision.
Pain in the